When Emma invited me to her engagement party, I actually laughed. My friend looked at me, completely baffled. You mean asterisk? That asterisk Emma? She asked, the very same Emma who once whispered that she couldn't imagine a single day of her life without me. Yes, that Emma. We met back in college. We were two girls who somehow found each other bonding over art, a dangerous amount of caffeine, and these late-night walks that always felt a little too intimate to just be friendly. I was the quiet one, always sketching faces in the margins of my notebook. She was pure sunlight, loud, confident, the kind of person who drew every single eye in the room without even trying. Our friendship shifted into something else one night. We were on her dorm balcony, surrounded by these cheap, twinkling fairy lights. In the middle of a laugh, she just leaned in and kissed me. Her fingers trembled against my cheek, like she was both terrified and more alive than she'd ever been. I remember that exact thought crossing my mind. This is it. This is the start of everything. But the next morning, she acted like it never happened. We were drunk, she said. Even though we weren't, I played along, telling her it was fine, that I understood. But I didn't. Not at all. We stayed friends. Kind of. But after graduation, we drifted. She got this great job in marketing. I took a leap and opened a small art studio downtown. Every now and then, a text would pop up from her, "Miss you." And I'd always reply, "Miss you too." And then, just like that, months of silence would follow. Then one day, completely out of the blue, I got an invitation, an actual physical invitation, her engagement party, to a man named Daniel. My first instinct was to throw it in the trash. I wasn't going to go, but some nagging, self-destructive part of me needed to see her. I had to see her one more time, even if it meant watching her belong to someone else. When I arrived, she looked absolutely radiant, like she was spun from gold. Her fiancé was glued to her side, all polite smiles and expensive cologne. She saw me from across the room, and for a split second, her entire expression changed. It was softer, almost. Guilty. Later that night, she found me out on the balcony. It was the same kind of balcony where everything had started all those years ago. "You came," she said, her voice barely a whisper. "Yeah," I replied. "Didn't think I should, but you did," she finished for me. There was this long, heavy silence before she just blurted it out. "I shouldn't have invited you." My heart sank. "Then why did you?" I asked, my voice a lot steadier than I felt. She hesitated, her eyes glistening under the city lights. "Because I needed to see you, because every time I try to picture my future, you're still there." The words hit me like a punch to the gut. It was a dull ache. "You're engaged, Emma." "I know," she whispered. "But he's safe. He loves me. But it's not the same with you. It's like I can't breathe unless you're near me." She reached out and took my hand. Her fingers were shaking, just like they did on that first night. "I never stopped loving you," she confessed. I just didn't know how to choose you." I wanted to scream at her. I wanted to tell her how cruel she was being, saying this now, when it was so clearly too late. But instead, all I could manage was, "Then why tell me this now? Because if I don't," she said, her voice breaking, "I'll regret it for the rest of my life." We just stood there, her engagement ring glinting under the moonlight. And in that moment, I realized just how fundamentally unfair love can be. I had dreamed of this moment for years, of her finally admitting it. But it didn't feel like a victory. It felt like an immense, crushing loss. Emma, I whispered, finding my voice, you can't have both. I know, she said again, defeated. But if I leave him, if I choose you, I'll lose everything. My family, my job, everything I've built. Tears started to slip down her face. Every part of me wanted to wipe them away, to pull her into my arms and tell her it would be okay, but I couldn't. I just stepped back. Then go, I said, my voice softer than I intended. Marry him. Be safe. But do you tea? That come back to me when you realize that safety isn't the same thing as happiness. Her lip trembled. I'm sorry. So am I said, and I turned and walked away before she could see me cry. The weeks that followed were a blur. I poured everything into my art, painting canvas after canvas of women with this hidden sorrow in their eyes, women who all looked a little too much like her. Then came the day of her wedding. My phone buzzed on the workbench, a text from a number I knew by heart. It just said, I didn't go through with it. I stared at the screen. I didn't reply. I couldn't. That night, as rain hammered against the windows of my studio, there was a knock at the door. I pulled it open, and there she was. No ring, no makeup, just a soaked mess of tears and rain and hope. I told him the truth, she said, her voice trembling. I told him I was in love with someone else. Before I could even process it, before I could say a single word, she took my face in her hands and kissed me. It was the same way she had years ago, but this time there was no hesitation, no fear. Between our breaths, she whispered the 5 words I'd been waiting a lifetime to hear. This time, I choose you. And for the first time in years, I finally let her. Thank you so much for listening to my story. If it touched you in any way, please consider liking this video and subscribing for more. It means the world. I'll see you in the next one.